I like Zishan because he's really funny and he's always joking around and he always makes us happy even when we're not happy. And also because he's also very kind. Whenever we're down, he always helps us and he always tries to make us feel better.
Zishan Mohammed is a beloved member of Karen O'Neill's 5th grade class at Fisher Elementary School. So it's no surprise that his energizing sense of humor and warm disposition were sorely missed when ongoing medical treatment left Zishan unable to attend school for several months during the 2022-2023 academic year. But that would eventually change with the Z-Bot, a remote-controlled robot donated by the nonprofit organization Graham-Tastic Connection.
I couldn't risk getting sick or else the treatment would have taken longer, so that's why I had the Z-Bot. And then until everything was done, that's when I could come back. Even when I was in the hospital, I could still see my friends from there because if we didn't have it, then I would not have seen any of my friends for 6 months.
Zishan had been in the hospital since the fall of 2022, tuning into class through Zoom whenever possible. The Z-Bot was a massive upgrade, allowing him to move around the classroom, join the rest of his class at specials, and even attend recess.
So I could talk to them. I could still know what's going on in school, and I didn't have to miss some of the fun activities, like the egg drop. So I knew what was going on. Miss O'Neill could send me stuff to work on it. So I worked on it at home, and I dropped it at my house. While everybody else dropped it here, but I was still on the camera, so I could still see everything.
So when he was in the hospital, he used to come on to the Zoom with us, and it was good, except days that he really didn't feel like talking and really didn't feel like being on the video. Sometimes he would talk and he would have the screen off, and I think he thought he was being kind of projected, his head on the big screen with all the kids staring at him. So I think after a while that just kind of got a little bit uncomfortable. And then when he was feeling better and his treatments were farther between, after his treatment when he was really sick, we wouldn't see him. But then on the good days, he would come on and he would be using the Z-Bot in the hospital. It was just so much better because he was able to go around to the classes with the kids because they switched classes. So he loved being able to go down to the cafeteria to sit because he felt like he was eating lunch with the kids. He was able to go to social studies. He was able to go to science. And it was just neat just traveling with them. Sometimes he would just kind of park it at his own desk and we'd lay the papers out, whatever we were doing that day. And then it became a little bit more. He'd come on for longer periods of time. So whatever we didn't hear, he either had a partner or he did the work at home. So we'd make sure that he had all the materials at home so he could work along with us. But it just made it so much easier and so much better. I think as soon as he started using the Z-Bot, he just felt so much more back connected with his friends.
He's very nice and he make us laugh a lot, and he can in the classroom he'll always say something funny and everybody laugh. And it's he's a really good part of our class, and we don't want him to be out of our class. So the robot is very good at making him feel like he's in person.
It's been kind of cool. He can go to school even though he's in the hospital. He can learn and participate like we do.
I mean, it was still pretty much Zishan, just he was a robot. So he was still the same. He was still pretty funny, and he was still just randomly yell at a joke, and it was still super funny.
He would have been gone for maybe 4 months if we didn't have the robot. So it's good to see him, see what he's doing, see if he's feeling good, all that stuff.
It is fun to see him through the Z-Bot. It's not as good as seeing him in person, but it's still great because we get to see him instead of just him.
Basically, there's just 6 intros, and there's 2 things to go. So one is to go front, and the other is to go back. And there's 2 more that are one is to turn this way, and the other is to turn the other way. And then the last 2, one of them is to look up, and the other is to look down.
Like any piece of technology, the Z-Bot had its fair share of technical difficulties, but Zishan's classmates and Mrs. O'Neill were always happy to help.
It's always fun to have him there with us, but sometimes he can't really hear us on there, and there's sort of a glare, so he can't really see us. properly or hear us that much. Like the Wi-Fi isn't that good, so he has to keep on connecting and it'll say Wi-Fi disconnecting or something like that. And sometimes when we're reading, that would happen and it's just really annoying.
One time in science, I had to write down a paper for him so that his mom could pick it up from the office to give it to him. So basically he has to look at it and then see what it's like, but there's always a glare. So it's hard to see for him. And then sometimes my friend Owen, we have to go in and like go to his settings and then fix him.
They've been absolutely amazing. You wouldn't believe. Everybody like made sure like it was turned on in the morning. People made sure. The boys would sometimes say, you know, it's easier for us to carry you. It moves quicker. So they would, you know, they'd pick up the robot because it's you know, it wasn't that heavy, and they'd walk around with them. But they made sure they were unbelievable. They made sure he was, you know, at everything. And even if he couldn't come on, like if something came up that day, or if he had physical therapy, or if he just wasn't feeling good, or so you know, they would bring him down. They have recess before lunch, so while they were out at recess, they would bring the Z-Bot down, so you have it all ready at the table down the cafeteria. So as soon as lunch started, he'd be there and ready. And when he was on, it was great. And if he didn't come on, the kids were just like, okay, you know, and they would just bring it back up. And then, you know, they'd always say, Zishan's on. Sometimes he would just kind of pop on. They were just so happy to have him back.
We are all willing to help out. Zishan is our friend, and sometimes we could miss him sometimes.
Graham-Tastic Connection is a nonprofit organization based in Springvale, Maine, that provides free technology to children undergoing active treatment for serious medical conditions. The group supplies students between the ages of 3 to 18 with iPads, laptops, robots, and even high-speed home internet access, so they can continue their education during treatment while maintaining connection with family, friends, and medical providers. Leslie Morissette, the founder and executive director of Graham-Tastic Connection, lost her 8-year-old son Graham to leukemia in 1997. According to their website, staying connected to his school, family, and friends were always important to Graham while he was in the hospital.
It's just unbelievable. It's just so fantastic. And the kids have been asking about it too, like, you know, who started it, where did it come from? And I just think it's just an amazing thing for kids, and really no matter what age, you know, like I could even see like if, you know, at the college level too, if somebody was missing class. But I think too for the younger kids, it was just so great. At that age, I mean, you know, 10 years old, everything, it's your friends, you know, and just being part of the, you know, being a part of the big picture. So I think it just means a lot just to keep that whole connectivity, especially too when you think about like COVID. They've been through so much separation already, and I really think, you know, I remember the first time that, you know, we connected with them, his parents used to text me and say like, you know, he was smiling today, and you know, it's the first time he smiled. That was when he really lit up, when he was with his friends talking. I just think I think it's just fantastic. Like, it's just such a great invention and a great tool.
It was kind of cool, and it was amazing.
It's been great because we can see him and he can like learn with us. I mean, if we didn't have the Z-Bot, like we wouldn't be able to see him and like have like contact with him. And that was like kind of important because he was part of our class.
It's good because it's like he's an actual like student. It's just because he's in this doesn't mean he can't do anything. Like, he can do anything in this. It's better than just not even being in the classroom.
It's just unbelievable, like, just to make everybody feel connected. As great as it was for him, I'm sure, and his parents were so thrilled, like, it really meant a lot to all the other kids in here too. And the teachers, you know, just to have him back and being able to be in class again.
Thanks to the Z-Bot, Zishan could maintain his support network and continue learning, while he and his family navigated what were undoubtedly difficult times. Fortunately, Zishan returned to school in the last few weeks before summer break, bringing with him the sense of humor and positive energy that his teachers and classmates missed so much while he was gone. For Walpole Media, this is Jessica Kurgo.